Country Confidential.
Who were some of your early influences that you remember from growing up?
I mean, ever since I was a little girl, you know, Shania Twain was obviously like a massive influence to me. And I used to sing in the mirror with like a plastic microphone and wanting to be Shania. And then, you know, when I got into my teens, I started working with a guy by the name of Randy Bachman. And Randy was the guy who got me into classic rock and blues and jazz. And so when I was in my teens, I started listening to Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. And it was sort of like that world mixed with country and molding those two things together that sort of gave me my style that I play in now. You know, it's like a little Keith Urban, a little John Mayer, a little Sheryl Crow.
I love that mix. That's one hell of a mix. For me, I think one of the most powerful things about you and your performance is that you shred the guitar. And that's not something that you see a lot of in music, but especially not in country music. So talk to me a little bit about, you mean, growing up playing the guitar, kind of maybe your first, first time playing the guitar to kind of where you find yourself now laying down on the stage. Like, why is it so important that you show that side of you?
You know, I just think that being able to play live opens up a whole new world of opportunity. You know, it's one thing to write songs and music. It's one thing to sing them, but then being able to perform them is like this other element. It's this other, muscle, so to speak, that we get to work. And so as a performer, being able to learn how to work that muscle and really develop that and ultimately put on a show. You know, you go see somebody like Keith Urban play and you are totally drawn to his songs. Yes, for sure. The way he sings them. Yes, for sure. The way he plays his instrument, for sure. But it's also how he performs, you know, and he can like stand up there with an acoustic guitar in the palm of his hands and have the audience just like right there with him. And then he can stand there with an electric guitar, like wailing this massive guitar solo and just having that dynamic. And so I think from watching and from touring with a bunch of artists that I just look up to, it's really taught me how to sort of work those different elements. And, you know, sometimes you need to lay down on stage and play a guitar solo, like lying on your back.
I wish I could say I knew how to do the same. So it's no secret that country music has kind of waxed and waned when it comes to females. You know what I mean? You talk about Shania, when we were growing up, I almost feel like women kind of ruled the country space and then it kind of fell off. But now I feel like it's coming back. Why do you feel like it's so important for females to have a perspective in the genre?
Just like anything, I think any genre is cyclical. You know, I think that early in the 90s, there were women all over, specifically country, but there were just female artists all over the place releasing great music. And there has definitely been a lack of females, you know, over the past few years, but I think you're slowly starting to see that resurgence again. And you're starting to see that like cyclical cycle come back. And so it's been really amazing in the past few years to see more and more female artists releasing and recording music and sending songs to radio and, more labels signing female artists and developing talent. And so, I think it's definitely a process, and we're still in that part of the process where we're catching up, so to speak. But I think it's a really exciting time for female music and females in country specifically. And the most important part is the quality of the music. You know, I think that is what's going to create careers that are based on longevity, and also the fact that fans just want to hear great music, regardless of who it comes from, regardless of gender, age, you know, it's all just about having that song that connects. And I still think like that's our first and foremost focus.
No, I love that. What's something that you're doing as an artist to really kind of bring in those female fans? I know for me, I really gravitate towards female artists. What's something that you're trying to do to help kind of bring those women in? I mean, heck, you went on an all female headlining tour. So why is that so important to you?
I think that as a woman in country music, and just even a woman in any genre, we need to continue to create opportunities to lift each other up. I think that it is, so amazing, specifically in the country genre, that as female artists, we do want to lift each other up and we can feel that level of support. And I just think it's so important. You know, we're here to high five each other to the top. And it's honestly rare to find a group of women who want to do that a lot of times. And so country music is so special in that sector. And I think you do see it in a touring environment a lot of times, with a bunch of different programs wanting to bring female artists together and lift them up together. And that's why I was just so excited to bring out a female opening act. And, so many incredible artists have opened up their stages to me and let me and pass on the torch. And so to take that torch and then pass it on to have my own opening act and have that be a female artist, that was something I was really proud of.
Country Confidential.